Many centuries ago, Earth's natural resources were depleted, causing widespread chaos and conflict. The world's top scientists set out to save what remained of civilization, developing genetically enhanced orchids as a new energy source. However, humans continued to fight over their differences, so the scientists created the transformation. When people turn 16, they undergo a life-altering procedure that transforms them into their ideal selves. These individuals are called pretties, and since they are perfect and content living in the city, conflict is prevented. Those who have not undergone the procedure are known as UGLIES and reside in the dorms of Uglyville. Tally eagerly anticipates becoming a pretty and frequently uses a mirror app to see her future appearance after the procedure. Her best friend is Paris, and they have affectionate childhood nicknames for each other. They sometimes sneak out during curfew to the bridge to observe the pretties partying in the city with special glasses. Tally will turn 16 in 3 months, but Paris is older and scheduled to undergo the operation the next day. They have matching scars on their hands and promise not to let the doctors remove them when they become pretty. A patrol drone flies by, prompting them to hurry back to their dorms. The next day during an assembly, Tally overhears other students discussing the Smoke, a rumored hidden place outside the city led by someone named David, where people allegedly escape to. Most students are skeptical about the existence of this place. Then, a hologram of Governor Cable appears and delivers a speech emphasizing the importance of being pretty and perfect. Paris had asked Tally to meet her at the bridge in a month's time. That evening, Tally watched the fireworks above the city and recalled the day she first met Paris. Tally's parents had just dropped her off at the dormitories, and Paris was behind her in line. They hit it off and became besties. One day, Paris accidentally cut his hand while taking a tablet from Tally, and they both ended up with the same scar, vowing to stay friends forever. Days went by, and Tally maintained her routine of attending classes and checking her appearance in the mirror. She also frequently checked her interface ring, but there were no messages from Paris. After a month, Tally used her ring to hack the window open and left it behind, as it had a tracker. She snuck around and made her way to the bridge, but Paris had not shown up. Worried, Tally used a rope to climb onto the bridge and dangerously moved underneath it until she reached the city. After obtaining the hologram mask, Tally puts it on, giving the impression that she is wearing an exclusive gown. Tally is able to enter the party and is amazed by all the decorations. Eventually, she finds Paris, who looks very different and doesn't recognize her. Tally removes her mask and asks why he didn't go to the bridge, and Paris explains that things have changed and he doesn't know how he could relate to her anymore. Tally is shocked by this and realizes how much he has changed when she notices his scar is gone. The security system then detects her presence and Tally has to run away from the guards. She gets stuck on a balcony, so she steals a bungee jacket and jumps. The fall is long, but the jacket causes her to bounce and land safely nearby. Tally then runs out of the city by going under the bridge again. She mistakenly kicks a stone into the water. A flying drone locates her and approaches closer to arrest her. Suddenly, her classmate Shay appears and helps Tally get on her hoverboard, allowing them to fly away and escape. Tally helps Shay retrieve her lost hoverboard after Shay takes it on a wild ride through the woods. As a thank you, Tally steals some snacks from the kitchen. The girls bond over their shared experience of being the last among their friends to turn 16 and become pretty. They discover they have the same birthday and get excited to go through the transformation together. The next day, Shay tries teaching Tally to use a second hoverboard, but Tally falls immediately. At school, Tally is surprised to see some girls return a rare book to Shay, as such books are scarce. The girls are impressed by the book's description of living in nature, wondering if that's what the Smoke is like. Tally borrows the book, but she's upset that Shay told everyone about Tally's stunt, fearing it could impact her eligibility for the operation to become a pretty. However, Shay assures Tally that the system wants everyone to undergo the transformation. Tally keeps having dreams about the procedure. Shay keeps teaching Tally how to operate the hoverboard, and in exchange, Tally keeps using her ring to hack and get more food. Tally also shows Shay the pretty design she created on the app, but Shay doesn't have an account. Tally is not excited about the upcoming operation. Eventually, Tally becomes skilled at using the hoverboard, and the girls enjoy doing tricks on crazy ramps. When Tally returns the book to Shay, Shay expresses a desire to visit the beautiful natural world, and mentions that it might not be so bad to avoid the operation. However, Tally thinks Shay's idea is crazy. Suddenly, Shay reveals the existence of the Smoke and takes Tally to the edge of the woods. They remove their rings and cross the border on their hoverboards. They reach the ruins of an old city, where Shay tells Tally about ancient objects like roller coasters. Shay then takes Tally to an abandoned building and reveals that the Smoke is real and that David will be arriving soon. Shay refuses to get the surgery and plans to leave that night, inviting Tally to come with her. But Tally declines, saying she wants to become pretty, not be free. The text describes how Tally's friend Shay has gone missing, and Dr. Cable believes Tally knows something about it. Cable tries to pressure Tally into helping them find Shay, who they think is in danger and being held by a man named David. Despite Tally's insistence that she doesn't know anything, Cable delays her surgery as a way to coerce her cooperation. Tally's friend Paris then appears and urges her to tell Cable what she knows so they can be reunited. The next day, Cable informs Tally that David is developing a weapon to attack the city, and he wants Tally to infiltrate the smoke to help find Shay and stop David. Tally is told that if she succeeds in her mission, she will receive the medical procedure she desires. Tally is also given a necklace with a flashing light, which she must activate when she discovers the weapon's location. Tally then follows Shay's guidance and rides a hoverboard along the old roller coaster track for some distance. Eventually, Tally encounters a gap and falls into the woods, but she is caught by a force field. Tally follows the abandoned train tracks to find the smoke. She survives in the wilderness for a few days, appreciating nature more than ever, and even climbs a mountain. The train tracks have a large gap over a chasm, so Tally uses her hoverboard to make a big jump, which shuts down the board. She begins falling rapidly, but the hoverboard reactivates, and she reaches the other side. Tally then waits in a field of flowers as instructed. Meanwhile, Cable brings Paris to her office, revealing that Paris went to her dorm the previous night because she had asked him to. Paris admits that it felt good to be in town, as if he could think clearly again. Cable then announces that a select few have been chosen for a new procedure, and Paris agrees to undergo the surgery for body enhancements. That night, Tally wakes up uncomfortable because of smoke. Tally was unsure of what to do, but a mysterious person, David, suddenly appeared and took her away. David scanned Tally and her belongings for trackers, finding one in her hoverboard and removing it. However, the scanner didn't detect anything in her necklace. Meanwhile, Cable's people received an alert about the tracker being removed and sent people to search the area. The next morning, Tally and David reached a smoke outpost, where Tally reunited with her friend Shay. Shay was excited to see Tally, but Croy was suspicious. The group camped for the night, and Shay asked about Tally's necklace, so Tally claimed it was a gift from Paris. Tally was surprised to see Shay happy, despite what Cable had said, and tried to express her concerns, which made Shay think Tally had come to convince her to go back. This led to an argument, but Tally agreed to give the smoke a chance. The following day, Tally learned that the smoke intentionally started fires to burn the orchids, as they were actually toxic and destructive. The person claims the orchids are a clean energy solution, but David refutes this, stating it's a government lie and the flowers are actually devastating the planet. David wants Tally to accompany them on their mission to demonstrate the truth, which Croy opposes, but Shay vouches for Tally's involvement. The group uses an old helicopter they repaired with solar panels to fly over the area. Tally notices that the former orchid habitat has become a desert. Shay uses a flamethrower to burn down as many orchids as possible. Croy's tablet detects someone approaching, so David lowers the helicopter to hide in the smoke. This causes Shay to fall from the helicopter. Cable's scouts are getting closer, so Tally ties a weighted bag to the end of the rope and uses it to descend. The helicopter starts to lose lift as Tally searches for Shay in the flames. Tally spots Shay, and when a scout tries to approach closer, Tally grabs the burning bag and throws it in his direction. The girls then hold onto the rope as the helicopter flies away just before a scout can jump on. Tally has been given a chance to experience life in the smoke, a thriving community living in nature. Despite her initial discomfort, she finds the smoke's way of life intriguing. The group camps for the night, but Tally struggles to sleep, thinking about Cable and how she was taught to manipulate the rebels. The next day, Tally is blindfolded and taken to the smoke, where she discovers a self-sufficient society without money, where everyone works and shares resources. Tally finds the lifestyle more challenging than city life, but admits the self-grown food tastes better. One afternoon, Tally's curiosity leads her to a mysterious door, but she is caught by Croy and sent away. As she adjusts to life in the smoke, Tally begins using tools, trying new spicy foods, and participating in the community's social activities around the fire. Tally and David cherish their time together. After several attempts, Tally successfully hits the practice target. During their return trip, David reveals that he has never seen the city as he was born and raised in the wilderness with his family. Tally is surprised by this, as she had limited interaction with her own parents. David gave Tally a pair of gloves. Then, a smoke member came back with a wound, saying the scouts they encountered were faster and stronger than usual. Shay noticed Tally wearing the gloves and explained that the items there have different values, and since David made the gloves, giving them to Tally means he likes her. Shay told Tally to make a decision and stop playing with them. During a later walk with David, Tally mentioned hearing rumors about a weapon to destroy the city, so David took her to a house away from the camp. There, Tally met David's parents, AZ and Maddie, who were guarding all the books. They used to be cosmetic surgeons for the government and became suspicious of some tests, so they started investigating. It turned out that the physical changes were just a cover to hide the fact that people's brains were also being altered. The government could easily control the people involved in the operation, which also resulted in many secret deaths. When Cable discovered that AZ and Maddie knew the truth, she stole all their research. Doctors who worked for the government were actually given a cure to help them think clearly. So David's parents chose to flee the city and live a normal life in the woods. They've been trying to recreate the cure, but they're missing a synthetic component, so they only have a basic serum. This serum is the supposed weapon that could destroy the city. After the meeting, Tally throws her necklace into the fire, deciding to stay with the smoke. She tries to tell David that she's done terrible things, but he doesn't care because she's a new person now, and they share a kiss. In the fire, the necklace sparks. The next morning, city aircraft arrive at the smoke and start shooting. Everyone starts running away, and the scouts chase after them, only to fall for the traps that were already set up. The authorities are relentless and have the means to overcome basic traps, quickly apprehending every rebel in their path, including Shay. Tally manages to hide with David, who wishes to venture out and assist the others. Tally tries to stop the duo, but they're too strong. The pair sneaks to where the prisoners are gathered, and Tally is devastated to find Paris has become a scout. AZ and Maddie are captured as Cable arrives, demanding to know David's location. The parents refuse to answer, so Cable orders Paris to kill AZ. David and Tally try to stop him, but they're too late. Cable then tells everyone Tally has been working for her, and the smoke members turn against Tally. While everyone is distracted, Maddie hides the serum in David's pocket. As Cable says everyone will have the surgery, Tally sets a fire in the supply shack and escapes through a window. The fire causes an explosion, allowing David to run away. Tally stops a scout, chasing him with an arrow. Paris wants to join the chase, but Cable announces they're leaving. David gathered some supplies to go on a rescue mission after the others had left with the prisoners. Tally tried to approach him, but he almost attacked her with a knife before stopping himself. Tally wanted to help him rescue the others, but he didn't trust her anymore. She explained that he needed her because he had never been to the city. Later in the city, Tally introduced David to the students who had read Shay's book to prove that the smoke was real. Tally borrowed an interface ring from them and asked the students to create a distraction by having teenagers write "the smoke lives" in the sky using their hoverboards. Meanwhile, David and Tally waited for the aircraft to leave the clinic and then used hoverboards to get inside the aircraft tunnel, landing safely thanks to their bungee vests. The door suddenly opened, revealing a person. Pretty and David immediately began fighting. They traded a few blows before David overpowered the person and held them against the wall, allowing Tally to take their ring. David then threw the person into the hallway, and Tally locked the door. As the alarm sounded, the pair located the cell and used the ring to free everyone inside. Tally realizes that Shay is not around, and Croy reveals that Shay has already had the surgery. Most of the group escapes, but David, Tally, and Maddie go looking for Shay. When they reach the lab, it's too late. Shay is already a pretty. Tally cries and apologizes, but Shay says she loves it. Cable and Paris then arrive and force the trio to get into the machines to undergo the surgery. The group was forced to flee when the machines were damaged, causing the system to fail. Tally tried to reason with Paris, using their nicknames and mentioning the scar he got from the glass. David mistakenly thought Paris was attacking Tally and tackled him, but Paris was stronger and beat him up. Tally used a hoverboard to tackle Paris, causing him to fall off the edge. Paris held on for a moment, saying Tally's nickname before falling into the waterfall. The group then escaped on hoverboards and saw the other teens making the drones crash in the sky. They hid in the abandoned city, and Maddie took the serum from David's pocket to finish mixing the cure. Shay doesn't want to take the medication because it may have negative impacts on the brain. Shay decides not to force it on anyone, so Tally volunteers to be the one who receives the treatment. Tally will turn herself in and let them perform the surgery so she can then take the cure, and she will give them a signal to let them know if it's effective. The aircraft and rope are arriving, so after one last farewell, the group escapes while Tally allows the scouts to capture her. Later, Tally is the ideal pretty living in a luxurious apartment. She claims to be content with this lifestyle, but the mark on her hand shows she is still her true self and is acting as a spy.